Hello, everybody. Welcome to AEW Weekly Wrap Up. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to last week's Rampage, just run down the results, top of this past week's Dynamite. Also, give you a preview of tonight's Rampage and Double or Nothing this Sunday. Also, tell us some Ring of Honor stuff. But before we get all on that, we got some news to get through. So, this past Sunday at New Japan Resurgence, John Moxley were part of a six-man tag team match. They teamed with Shota Umino. They defeated Chaos's Kazuchika Cut and Tomohiro Ishii, who are two-thirds of the New Japan Pro Wrestling's never openweight six-man tag champs, all Rocky Romero, and Will Nightingale becoming the first ever strong women's champion. She defeated Momo Kogo in the first round match and then defeated Mercedes Moné in the main event to win the title. Also, Juice Robinson and Tony Storm were part of that show as well, as Juice Robinson defeated Fred Rosser in a street fight thanks to the help of Tony Storm. And also, Christopher Dales was there on the pre-show losing Alex Coughlin. But that was pretty much all the news there. So we'll go down to last week's Rampage. This was last Saturday, I believe. This is from the Austin, Texas statement. So the opening match trios actually with Blackpool Common Club's Ring of Honor World Champ Clay Custom John Moxley with Yuta, defeating best friends Chuck Taylor, Trip Beretta, and Bandito 9 minutes 43 seconds. Jay Cargo retains her TBS against Danny B in 36 seconds. Then retains it again this time against Genesis in 31 seconds. In trios match with the acclaimed Anthony Bowens Max Caster team with Billy Gunn. They defeat the varsity athletes Ari Daivari, Josh Woods, and Tony Nese 7 minutes 27 seconds. In the main event, Dustin Rhodes defeating six-man tag champion Bishop Khan 8 minutes and 58 seconds. So now we'll jump right into this past week's Dynamite. So we kick it off with the international title up for grabs. Orange Cassidy defenses Kyle Fletcher. So Fletcher goes right after with a brainbuster for a 2 count, and then Cassidy gets whipped into the corner and kicked from the apron to the outside, where Fletcher takes him down with a tope suicida. Fletcher stays in control by going to the top rope to taunt the crowd by mimicking Cassidy, but Orange pushes him off, hits the DT up the apron, and knocks him to the outside. And then he connects with Beach Break on the floor, running back inside, tell the referee to start counting Fletcher out, but Fletcher gets back in at 9. Cassidy takes over until he gets stomped by a thrust kick to the head as Fletcher gets a 2 count off of that, and it hits a brainbuster for a 2 count as we cut to picture-in-picture. After the picture-in-picture break, Fletcher kicks Cassidy to the apron, but Cassidy tries a crossbody off the top rope, but got caught into a Michinoku drive for a 2 count. Then goes back reversing charge, moves for a bit before Fletcher sends Cassidy into the corner with punches. Cassidy comes back with a brainbuster followed by lazy chops, thrust, and a Michinoku drive for a 2 count. Fletcher holds on a hold and hits 2 back-to-back tombstones for a 2 count. They go to the top rope. Fletcher turns that tombstone into an avalanche Michinoku driver. Somehow that still got a 2 count. Fletcher picks up Cassidy, but Cassidy counters with DDT. Fletcher stuffs an orange punch. He tries to go for the Grimstone, but Cassidy counters into a roll while crossing the legs for the win and to retain the title at 15 minutes and 5 seconds. This was a fun opening match. I just went 7 out of 10. And we go backstage for Napiquette. It's for Ricky Starks, where he said he's in the Blackjack Battle Royal on Sunday. He said he's sick and tired of getting beat up every week by Bullet Club Gold, and he's going to take matters into his own hands. Starks says he will refocus his energy on the Battle Royal. But just Robinson runs and starts tagging him as him and Starks fights back. But Jay White attacks from behind, tosses him the equipment case. White takes a chair and smacks Starks back with him. It says Starks thinks he's done with Bullet Club Gold, but they're absolutely not, as they have too much fun making his life a living hell. To close that segment, then we go to a sit-down promo from Jack Perry, who talks about the drive he made to his arena and talks about the past drives he's ever, including the first Double or Nothing and with Christian Cage right before he turned on him. Every time he makes a drive, he's a little bit different than before, but the same thing is the feeling he gets when he stands in the ring, as it gives him a purpose and lets him to be the man he wants to be. That ring let him live the life he chooses, and on Monday morning when it comes to drive back home, he's going to do it as the world champion. I thought that promo was actually pretty good, but I said that's Perry's best promo in a while. And then AEW World Tag Champs FTR make way down in the ring. Cash Wheeler says it would be easy to call Jeff Jarrett trash or Carney, but the bottom line is he's outsmarted them. Most importantly, Jarrett has been lucky, and on Sunday his luck runs out. Dax Harris said a couple guitars won't keep him down, and all the guitars he had broke haven't made him relevant. Jarrett thinks he's the head of the tag team of the division. There's going to be a couple rejects from TNA. Ain't going to happen. After Double or Nothing, he might want to call the Queen of the Mountain for job security. He doesn't mean Karen Jarrett. He means Dixie Carter. Also, Mark Briscoe makes his way, and Wheeler says he knows he's mad, but not to Jarrett and then make him look stupid. And FTR were to go to hell and back for him. Briscoe says they're all blood for life, but asks what was up with that apology from Harwood last week. Dax says it was a mistake, tries to apologize, but Mark slaps him across the face. Instead of giving him a handshake, Wheeler separates him and tells Mark not to give him his head. Briscoe hits to the back and pushes Karen Jarrett's son Jay off and forces back at Jeff Jarrett. Lethal asks for a hug, but Mark pushes him off and tells him he's getting tired of this bullshit. And then we go backstage where Renee Paquette is with Sammy Guevara. It says that MJF relayed the message to him that the offer stands for Guevara to lay down and receive the money. Guevara says, hell no, and MJF can't buy everything as is it for sale. His whole life, people had tried his promotions more money, but he told him he could shove it right up their asses if he's really living the real world. Not only has he made a pro wrestler, but he's the man who would take the world title away from MJF. Then we go to our second match of the show, another title match, second of 3. This is Trios Titles Open House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. Defends against AR Fox, Metalik, and Blake Christian. And the rule was basically Lucha rule. Basically, if someone gets out of the ring, another person come in. So no tags for this one. So Buddy Matthews and Blake Christian with the matchup, but quickly everyone starts coming in and out of the ring until Malachi Black takes control over Christian. As they start down to the outside where Brody King gets an AR Fox face stomp from diving and take him out with a clothesline. As he gets tripped over in the ropes, gets sent to the outside where Blake and Metalik attack him. Before AR Fox runs, everybody was sent on. Matthew dodges for a 50 splash from the inside and then stomps on him. And then he locks the prison trap, paying homage to Rhea Ripley. But the rope can't stop him. So Christian tries to up a Brody King, has Christian in a Blake Christian in a sleeper hole on the apron as AR Fox taps out. So the House of Black retains the trio styles by submission at 5 minutes and 18 seconds. This was okay. Only was a little too short. I get this one 5 out of 10. Then we go to Blackpool Comic in the back where Brian Danielson talks with Claudio Castagnoli winning the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles later in the show. And this Sunday, they are ending the Elite. John Moxley comes with the best in the world and says when his hand doesn't shake, as the standard, they set themselves every single time they step in the ring. They do the job what is meant to be done, and there's nobody in this world that's better than them. This is the major leagues, and only one thing matters. Are you willing to stand in front of fire? Stay up to the plate and deliver. It counts this Sunday, and it's going to count when they deliver. In the storm of violence, they will stand tall, ready to take aim and fire, and you'll see the difference between professionals and amateurs. And then in AEW World Champion, MJF makes way there, but he takes Tony Schiavone's water and tosses it back at his face. He says the fight comes place Sin City, but when he looks around this array, he thinks it should change to Virgin Vegas. MJF starts running down his opponents when things feel good. Jack parries them into echo chamber so he can blow himself to death. MJF starts talking about the 4 pillars aren't just part of AEW, but they are AEW and brings up others having cheat codes and appear at Ross before. MJF says he doesn't want to be anymore and is kind of bored here and sick of this place. He's sick of the lack of competition and sick of the AEW fans not showing the respect he so greatly deserves. MJF brings about Tony Khan knows his contract's coming up, so a coincidence he doesn't have to be pinned to lose his title, as Tony Khan is hitting the panic button, and they should be worried as he must take the ball and go home. As it's his ball and he earned it. He ran with the ball faster than anyone could keep up, as nobody on this roster is the level of the devil. Darby Allin makes his way down to the ring. It says he's lost a lot in his life, but never his mind, as he knows where he's going. Everybody told him to play it safe and he listened to those people, but it got him working at the 99 cent store, cleaning toilets. He moved from Seattle, Washington to Atlanta, Georgia. Lived in his car, told himself he can't leave the car until he makes that as a professional wrestler. He brings up how no other company will have skateboard with Tony Hawk or climb Mount Everest. He says he's not a puppet and to become the face of AEW. He says he might take the AEW World Title with a headlock takeover. As MJF kicks him low before MJF gets tagged with a diamond ring. Sammy Guevara runs out and chases MJF away. As he hits to the back, we hear the scene of Young Boy Jack Perry. He comes out and takes out MJF with a clothesline and then held up the AEW World Title to close that segment. Then we go a quick promo from TNT Champ Wardlow and Orange Double. How there are 4 days before Wardlow takes on Christian Cage and double nothing in a ladder match, as Orange then holds up the 4 horsemen symbol. Then we go our third match of the show. Tyler Valkyrie then looked there for the TBS title. Goes one up with Lady Frost. Lady Frost takes down Valkyrie down with head scissors, but Ty comes back with an arm drag and tags Frost in the corner and hits a sliding lyric for a 2 count. Ty continues with chops, but Frost dodges a spear in the corner, hits a high kick for her, and take it with a clothesline that gets her a 2 count. We see TBS champ Jay Cargill, Lady Gray, and Mark Sterling make the way to watch the match as we cut to picture-in-picture. After the break, Frost hits a twisting dive off the top rope of Taya, comes back with a spear. Then she hits a stomp, but starts taunting Cargill instead of going for the pin. Falls with a backbreaker, knee strike, and a road to Valhalla for the win at 7 minutes and 32 seconds. This was actually a fun little match. I actually kind of wish they had a couple more minutes to this matchup, but I I wouldn't mind these two round it back. I give this one 7 out of 10. Then we go backstage to Tony Khan, who says it's great to be back where everything has begun as he started Collision on June 17th. Tony Khan says the first episode of Collision will take place from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Basically telling me when CM Punk's come back without telling me CM Punk's coming back. Then we go backstage. Alice Marvelous is with him and Paige. As for stats with him, Kenny Omega and Young Bucks. He says him and Omega never consider themselves friends, but family, and family takes him to anarchy in the arena this Sunday. The price to pay is too high, and this Sunday they'll pay in blood. And we see Tony Schiavone's in the ring as we get ready for this contract and for the unsanctioned match between Adam Cole and Chris Jericho. Schiavone says everyone has agreed to no physical contact. As Adam Cole goes and signs the contract right away, he says for weeks he's wandered by Jericho, what he did and couldn't eat or sleep. Cole brings up what they did to Britt Baker and how Jericho directed traffic and calls Jericho a scumbag and a disgusting human being. He also says Jericho did it because he thinks he's invincible. They will find out if visible he is this Sunday and beats the living hell out of him. The blood will be on Cole's hands and just the way he likes and hopes Jericho knows he's taking all the power inside him to not beat him with an inch of his life. Cole says on Sunday he'll break both of his legs, shut his jaw in his hand to tells Jericho to sign the paper. B word. And then Jericho says he's not a B word. He says he's not from Las Vegas and goes to sign the paper. Jericho says before he signs, he brings up how Cole's head injury might have messed up his memory. It reminds Cole what happened by showing Butch what happened last month. Jericho asks what kind of man would love his life to get the crap kicked over as Strong goes to hold Cole back from attacking Jericho. Jericho calls Adam a coward and says he'll knock his teeth down his throat. Jericho signs the contract, says there are 5 of them and only 2 of them because he came out with JAS. Cole says he made a phone call to someone who lives here in Las Vegas and brings out Sabu. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that. That was random, but I actually thought it'd be Kyle O'Reilly. So Sabu gets in the ring and throws a chair at Matt Menard's face as the rest of Jericho escapes. Then we get a video package of the women's title match, a Double or Nothing. Then we go to our 4th match, our semi-main event. Roger Strong goes on with Daniel Garcia, JS, and I'm called Bayan from ringside. So Strong and Garcia stayed out there and they had the match. So match of a chop exchange, and Strong hits a chopper as we go to pitcher and pitcher. We come back from break. Garcia is in control while doing his dancing. They go back as Roger Strong chopped them in the privates. Then they go back forward before Garcia locks in the Dragon Tamer, but Strong breaks out, hits a gutbuster, followed by End of Heartache for the win at 8 minutes and 40 seconds. I actually like this match. I give this one 7 out of 10. Then we heard from Will Nightingale. She showed footage of her beating Mercedes Moné to win the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's title. And then the commentary team runs them the car for Double or Nothing, which I'll do after this review. Then we go to our 5th and final match of the show, the main event for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr., and Rey Fenix defense against Blackpool Combat Club's Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. So, just in case people forgot or might have missed that episode of Dynamite, so there's 2 weeks ago, Claudio Castagnoli beat Rey Fenix in a Double Jeopardy match where the loser had to defend their title against the winner. So Claudio beat Rey Fenix, so Lucha Bros had to put the tag titles on like against Claudio and a partner, which is Wheeler Yuta. So both teams probably kicked this match off, and then Blackpool Combat Club gets sent to the outside, got hit with double dives. Pentagon Jr. hits a crossbody off the top rope onto them before Rey Fenix dives on himself. They hit back inside. Both teams are fighting still until it's Pentagon and Claudio inside there as Wheeler hangs up the Rey Fenix's leg, but Phoenix gets free and springs forward into an uppercut from Claudio for a 2 count as we get the pitcher in pitcher. When we come back for the break, Castagnoli hits a giant swing on Phoenix as Yuta hits a draw kick on for a 2 count. Then Phoenix starts attacking both of them in the corner for Lucha Bros take out Yuta with a double super kick. Castagnoli catches Phoenix in a press slam, but Pentagon takes it with a Canadian Destroyer as Phoenix hits Yuta with a power draw for a 2 count. Claudio lays out Phoenix with an uppercut, launches Yuta onto Phoenix, but only got a 2 count as Alex Hernandez is distracted. The referee Young Bucks come from under the ring, hold Claudio's legs as Lucha Bros hit Yuta with the double stomp Fear Factor combo for the win and retain the World Tag Team titles at 10 minutes and 27 seconds. This was actually a fun main event. I give this one 7 out of 10 as well. Then after the match, John Moxley, Brian Danielson run down, chase the Young Bucks out into the crowd. Moxley gets on the microphone. It says they can laugh small while they still can, because this Sunday they will get plastered on the pavement on Las Vegas Boulevard, and Arky and it will be the wildest match because they won't accept anything else, and they think the Bull Combat has gone too far. Buckle your seatbelt as you haven't seen anything yet. And that closes out this week's Dynamite. Honestly, excellent promo from John Moxley. Overall, this Dynamite actually wasn't too bad. I give it a 7 out of 10. Matches I recommend checking out are the international title match, title fight for Late Frost, Strong versus Garcia, and the tag. Basically, all the it's just the trio. That one gets a 6 out of 10 for me, but at the most. But that one I probably skip if I had to choose one. So tonight's Rampage. So we got trios matches, faction, Inca and Highways, Jericho, Preston, France, and Roosh. Go gets the acclaim Anthony Belts, Maskcaster, and Billy Gunn. More trios that just it's the Guns, Austin and Colin, Ethan Page, who is Braxton, Fresco, Maddock, and Watson. Britt Baker and Hikaru are in tag team match against Maria Sheree and Nyla Rose. And best friend Chuck Taylor Tripper go against Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. So that was the Rampage. And then for Double or Nothing, Fatal Four Pillars match for AEW World Champion MJF defends Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. FTR defend the World Tag Titles against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Mark Briscoe will serve as special guest referee. Warlow defends the TNT title against Christian Cage in a ladder match. Orange Cassidy will defend the International in a 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal. So the other 20 participants, well, I should say 19 because Ricky Starks was one. They announced this yesterday on Twitter. So here are the men are Ricky Starks, Butcher, Blade, Bandito, Commander, Lee Moriarty, Big Bill, Artivari, Tony Nese, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Kip Sabian, Ring World Tag Champ, Lucha Bros for Ray Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., Swerve Strickland, Ring War 6-man Tag Champ, Brian Cage, Juice Robinson, Jay White, Keith Lee, and Dustin Rhodes. Jimmy here defends the women's title against Tony Storm. Anarchy in the Arena, Blackpool Combo Cup, Brian Danielson, John Moxley, Ring World Champ, Claudio Castagnoli, and William Yuta. Go against the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson, and him and Adam Page. Jay Cargill defends the TBS title against Tyler Valkyrie. Ethan Page and the Guns, Austin and Cole go against the Hardys, Jeff and Matt Hardy, and FTO Jim Hook. If the Hardys and Hook win, Matt Hardy owns Page's contract. Chris Jericho for Adam Cole in an unsanctioned match. Sabu will be the special guest enforcer. That's 9 matches. We don't know. They might add the Trios title match. I don't know, but wait and see. But that's the Double or Nothing card. So now, because of this week's, we will go to Ring of Honor episode 13. So they did announce 12 matches, and then yesterday afternoon they announced the remaining 7. I'm not gonna go move by move for 19 matches. So for this week, I'm just gonna run down the results and give my ratings. And then next week I'll go back to regular review him. So Mark Briscoe defeats Gage in the opening match time in 16 seconds. I give this one 7 out of 10. First of 2 program matches, this is Ring of World Champion Claudio Castagnoli defeating Serpentico 4 minutes and 39 seconds. I give this one 5 out of 10. Here Hogan defeats Fair Fix in 4 minutes and 58 seconds. I give this one 5 out of 10. Kyle Fletcher defeat AR Fox 10 minutes and 13 seconds. I give this one 7 out of 10. Will 9 go defeating he in 4 minutes and 17 seconds. I give this one 6 out of 10. In tag team match, we have the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett defeating the Max, Ninja, and Willie Mack. 7 minutes and 42 seconds. I give this one 6 out of 10. Mercedes Martinez defeating Dream Girl Ellie 2 minutes and 57 seconds. I give this one 3 out of 10. Ashley and Boyce defeating Danielle Kamala 5 minutes and 6 seconds. I give this one 5 out of 10. Rocco Mirror defeating Tice Alexander 4 minutes and 16 seconds. I give this one 7 out of 10. 6-man tag team match with the Righteous Dutch and Vincent 2 with Stu Grayson defeating LSG, Mark Cross, and Ferry Morales 4 minutes and 9 seconds. I give this one 5 out of 10. Shane Taylor defeating Tracy Williams 5 minutes and 13 seconds. I just went 6 out of 10. Our second program match for this in the women's division, Women's Shane Athena defeating Promise Braxton 5 minutes 56 seconds. I just went 5 out of 10. Jericho defeating Tony Dunn 6 minutes 34 seconds. I just went 7 out of 10. Sky Blue defeating Miranda Alice 4 minutes and 1 second. I just went 5 out of 10. Tag team action, Ashley Andrade and Darius Martin defeating Cole Carter Zach Claim 4 minutes 52 seconds. I just went 5 out of 10. Blake Christian defeating Nick Camarado 6 minutes 31 seconds. I just won 6 out of 10. D Monte defeating Trisha Dora 4 minutes 43 seconds. I just won 5 out of 10. Semi-main event match 18. Ring of World Tag Champion Pentagon Jr. defeating Slim J 5 minutes 47 seconds. I just won 5 out of 10. In the main event, tag team match, TV champ Samoa Joe, Team with Zack Sabre Jr., who is the New Japan Pro Wrestling television champ, defeating Chris Rodriguez and Matt Sydal 15 minutes and 18 seconds. I give this one 7 out of 10. I get you one because I know they tape Ring of Honor at Dynamite there in Vegas, so I get you have to finish off the tapings there. But honestly, 19 meant way too much, way too many matches. I do apologize, but way too many. So episode 14, I'll run the card very quick. That's 11 matches. So Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett go against the Infinite, Kari Bravo, and Sean Dean. Sky Blue versus Trisha Dora. 6-man tag team match with the Righteous Dutch and Vincent. Seasonal Stu Grayson goes Dark Order. Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Evil Uno. 6-man tag champ Brian Cage versus Willie Mack. War 6-man tag team match is the Butcher and the Blade Kip Sabian versus Bryce Saturn, Jacob Austin Young, and Shogun Jones. For the New Japan Pro Wrestling TV title, Zack Sabre Jr. defends against Rocky Romero. DeMonte versus Powers Braxton. Tag team match, the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry, J. Drake versus Action Giant, Darius Martin. 6-man tag team match with Spanish Damage Project and Hell Coast San Practico. Teams with Jack Cartwheel, Go Gets Bandito, El Hijo de Vikingo, and Commander. For the pure title, Kushida Shibata defends against Alice Coughlin. And for the women's title, Athena defends against Kiera Hogan. So that's it for me for this week, guys. I'll be back next week to talk about Double or Nothing and also Dynamite and stuff and Ring of Honor. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Have a good weekend, guys, and stay safe.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.